All right, today we're headed right to the very heart of India, to Nagpur, to get into a really fascinating economic puzzle. We're going to explore how a city that's absolutely booming with new infrastructure is at the same time a perfect place for entrepreneurs to start with, well, pretty much nothing. So let's just dive right in.
So picture this for a second. A city gets this incredible facelift. We're talking world-class highways, shiny new airports, but the young people who actually live there, they can't find decent jobs. This is the big conflict happening in Nagpur right now, and it sets the stage for a solution that's, let's just say, it's not what you'd expect.
Okay, so let's really dig into this strange situation, this paradox at the core of Nagpur's economy. You've got this massive wave of investment on one side, and on the other, well, something is seriously missing.
Now, just look at this number, 4.5 lakh crore rupees. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. That's the mind-boggling amount of money being pumped into Nagpur's infrastructure. We're talking about projects built to make this city the logistics king of the entire country.
And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows what's called the city's asymmetric transition. Over on the left, you see this incredible infrastructure renaissance. Brand new expressways, aviation hubs, the works. But then you look to the right and you see corporate stagnation. There just aren't enough top-tier jobs, which is causing this brain drain. All the best talent is packing up and heading to places like Pune or Bengaluru.
And if you need more proof, just look at this data. It's so telling. Over the last decade, look at the boom in IT parks in Pune and Mumbai. Huge growth. Now look at Nagpur. It went from 5 to 5, a completely flat line. This shows you exactly how the knowledge economy, the real engine for modern jobs, has just completely stalled out.
And the biggest symbol of all this has got to be the MIHAN project. It's this huge special economic zone that was supposed to be a global powerhouse. But almost 20 years later, a massive chunk of it is just sitting there, empty. The analysis calls this a structurally porous ecosystem. It's like you've built a giant puzzle, but all the crucial connecting pieces are just missing.
Now, this whole economic mess isn't just about spreadsheets and investments. It creates a very real, very human problem. So what's the actual price being paid by the people who live there, especially the younger generation?
The numbers are just stark. Over 13% unemployment for young men in the city and a jaw-dropping 19% for young women. And let's be clear, this isn't just about people taking a few months off between jobs. Nope, this is structural unemployment. It's a deep, fundamental problem in the job market.
So why is this happening? Well, this quote absolutely nails it. You've got these new, highly specialized industries moving in, think aerospace, deep tech, and they need very specific skills. But the local universities are still churning out graduates with more general degrees. It creates this crazy situation where companies are desperate for talent they can't find, and at the same time, thousands of young graduates can't find a job.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. A city with fantastic hardware, but the software, the corporate job market just isn't there. So what's the answer? Well, it's not waiting around for some big company to save the day. It's about building something yourself and doing it without needing a giant bank loan.
This is the big idea, right here. A zero-capital business. Now, this doesn't mean you spend zero money, of course. It means you avoid the huge, crippling upfront costs for stuff like factories or big offices. Instead, your main assets are your brain, your laptop, and your network. It's all about generating cash flow right away, not starting day one deep in debt.
And here's the best part. You're not going at it alone. The government actually has this incredible support system in place. You've got organizations like the DIG and MCAD, and they offer free help with starting your business and even free specialized training for things like digital marketing or export rules. They are basically subsidizing the knowledge you need to get off the ground.
All right, now for the really exciting part. Let's get down to brass tacks. We're going to walk through a playbook of 4 specific business ideas that are perfectly designed to solve Nagpur's unique problems.
First up, digital freight brokerage. Okay, Nagpur is a logistics goldmine, right? But connecting manufacturers to truckers is still super messy and inefficient. You can be the digital go-between. You don't own a single truck, you just use your laptop and some software to coordinate everything and you take a cut. Your real value? You handle all the painful paperwork, like e-way bills and GST, which is a massive headache for most businesses.
Number 2, an agro-export agency. I mean, the whole world knows about Nagpur oranges, but most local farmers have no idea how to sell them overseas. You can be that bridge. You connect local orange growers with buyers in Dubai or Europe, and you earn a commission on every single sale. You don't own the farm, you don't own the fruit, you own the relationship and the knowledge to get it done. Number 3, specialized recruitment. Remember that skills gap we talked about? Well, here's your chance to solve it. Instead of being just another generic recruiter, you become a hyper-specialist in exactly what the companies in MIHAN are crying out for: aerospace engineers, AI specialists. You become the go-to person for finding and maybe even helping train the perfect person for those impossible-to-fill jobs.
And fourth, hyperlocal digital marketing. All those legacy businesses in Nagpur's traditional markets, they're getting crushed by the big online giants. You can be their digital lifeline. You can offer them services like social media management and local SEO, using Marathi and Hindi to really connect with local customers. You're not just selling a service, you're helping these classic businesses survive in the modern world.
But look, starting a business is one thing. The real goal, the big prize, is to build something that actually lasts. So let's talk about how to turn that initial hustle into real multi-generational wealth and a stable income for the long haul.
This right here is a really powerful long-term plan, the service-to-asset escalation matrix. Here's how it works. In Phase 1, your service business is just a cash flow machine. Then in Phase 2, you take all that cash and you start buying real tangible assets: warehouses, processing plants, real estate. The service business basically funds your asset empire. And finally, Phase 3, you set up a professional family office to manage and protect that wealth for generations to come.
And if you think this is all just theory, I mean, just look at Halderum's. It's the perfect real-world example, and it comes right out of Nagpur. It started with zero industrial capital. It started with intellectual capital, a recipe. They just reinvested their cash flow over and over into assets and factories, and today they're a global giant. That's the blueprint.
So here it is, the key takeaway from all of this. All those problems and inefficiencies in Nagpur's economy, the messy logistics, the skills gap, the offline businesses, they aren't weaknesses. They are actually the biggest business opportunities imaginable for anyone smart enough to step in and solve them. And you can do it without taking on crushing financial risk.
And that really brings us to our final thought. We focused on Nagpur today, but this idea, this principle, it works everywhere. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. Take a good look around your own city, your own neighborhood. What's the one inefficiency, the one frustrating problem that everyone complains about, that could actually be your single biggest opportunity? Think about it. Thanks for tuning in.